Whenever we drive our cars or trucks, we're always on the lookout for potential hazards around us, but rarely do we think of looking up.
One Topeka man learned the hard way that sometimes the greatest hazard comes from above. In this case, concrete falling from a bridge as he passed underneath it. New at 6, and in a story you'll only see on KSNT News, Kaitlin Berry went looking for answers from the company he thinks is responsible.
We have experienced nothing like that before.
Jeffrey Nichols and his girlfriend were driving under a railroad bridge on this stretch of Topeka Boulevard, a train passing overhead when all of a sudden,
we thought that someone had fired a gun. It was that loud.
But it wasn't a gunshot. It was a small piece of concrete falling from the bridge above, hitting their windshield here.
Couldn't have been no more than a golf ball size.
That small piece of concrete fell right here in front of the passenger seat. He worries it could have been much worse.
If that chunk of concrete had been any larger, he thinks it could have shattered the whole windshield.
Concerned for the other innocent on the road. Children, females, a whole lot of people travel underneath this bridge on a daily basis, both north and south.
Walking underneath the bridge, I found several pieces of concrete lying around. I also found this. Looking up at the bridge, I also saw a lot of rust and dripping water.
My question is that continuing damage that may endanger others?
The bridge is owned by BNSF Railroad, and Nichols says he filed a complaint with the company right away, but doesn't know if they've done anything about the hazard. So I called a spokesman who had me call someone else and leave a message. Then I emailed them, and when I finally heard back, they said an inspector has already been out to the bridge and this problem's not their fault. The inspector says it's debris from the curb being kicked up from the road by other cars, not falling from the bridge. They added they were happy Nichols made the call.
If we can prevent someone else from experiencing heartache or injury, I'm compelled as an American to speak up.
And the railroad company wants to make sure you speak up. If you ever notice any problems like this, just give them a call. They say an inspector will be sent right out. Kaitlin Berry, KSNT News.
The railroad tells us they're also working with Nichols on the insurance claim for his windshield. If you see a problem you think is connected with either rails or bridges, we put the contact information in our story at ksnt.com.